Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is a bit unusual. We're looking at the week from December 28th, 2025 to January 4th, 2026.
Right, the holiday lull.
Exactly. It's that time when the tech news cycle usually just, goes completely silent.
But it's also a perfect moment for strategic moves. While everyone's away, you can set some really fundamental shifts in motion. And for Microsoft AI, this was a really focused period.
Really was.
We saw these foundational moves that I think are aimed at three big things for 2026. First, democratizing their best models. Second, securing the enterprise for the coming wave of AI agents. And third, really mandating technical standardization for every single developer out there.
That's precisely the pattern we found in the source material. We weren't looking for flashy launches. We were digging through licensing docs, dev guides, even community forums.
Pouring the concrete, so to speak.
It's a quiet revolution. And we're going to start with the loudest piece of news, which, funnily enough, is about how they decided to give away their newest model. Okay, let's kick off with the access news. Just before the new year, Microsoft made a move that, well, it impacts pretty much everyone using AI today.
The headline here is the big rollout of GPT 5.2 in Microsoft Copilot.
So what happened is this. On December 30th, Microsoft extended the rollout of GPT 5.2 to all free Copilot users.
Not just the paid ones, everyone.
Everyone. So we're talking web, directly through Windows and on your mobile. And remember, this came after the paid launch earlier in December.
And it's not just the model itself. It's operating alongside GPT 5.1 in what they call Intelligence Plus mode.
Right, and it includes that thinking variant, which is designed for really complex reasoning tasks.
And why this matters is, well, it's just deeply strategic. This is a global move, and it massively accelerates AI democratization.
I mean, when they call this expert-level AI...
Yeah, and they're talking about building large spreadsheets, doing detailed code reviews, comprehending these enormous documents.
They're making a high-end tool the new baseline.
Yeah.
For free.
Exactly.
I have to pause on that, though. Why? Why give away your latest, most powerful model to free users? I mean, the compute costs must be astronomical. Is this purely a market share play?
Oh, it's absolutely a market share and adoption play, 100%.
So get everyone hooked.
You get the public using these expert tools for free, and you close the global adoption gap overnight. The bet is that widespread adoption has to come first. You get used to GPT 5.2 for your work, you start to rely on it.
And then when you need the deeper enterprise integrations, the security, the connections to your company data,
that's when you pay for the subscription.
it's a classic funnel strategy. But they're applying it to a model that, let's be honest, their competitors are still charging a premium for.
It completely undercuts the value proposition of anyone offering a slightly older model for a few dollars a month. Microsoft is just absorbing the cost of training users on advanced AI.
So they become the default provider when those users walk into an enterprise.
Precisely. They are setting the bar, the new standard for what good AI even looks like.
And that new demand has to be met with integration. You need it in the tools you use every single day. So moving from the models to the products, Copilot is just continuing its march deeper into workflows.
Which brings us to the next key headline. This one's about Copilot Chat in Teams Phone.
Okay, so what happened here? On December 31st, right at the end of the year, the post-call Copilot experience for Teams Phone hit general availability, GA.
For both desktop and mobile.
Yep. And what that means functionally is the second a phone call ends, you can pop open a Copilot Chat panel.
And it just gives you a summary?
More than that. It generates summaries, it pulls out key insights, and it suggests next steps based on the conversation you literally just had.
This is a huge expansion. Voice is often that last, unstructured data frontier in a business. This doesn't just transcribe.
It makes it actionable.
It makes it actionable instantly. By integrating the transcript with the Microsoft Graph, all your emails, your documents, your calendar, plus web data, it bridges that gap between talking about something and actually, doing something about it.
We've seen summary features before, but that integration with the graph for C's, suggested next steps, that feels like the real step up. It's moving from just documenting into automating.
Totally. Think about a sales team. You finish a complex call. Instead of spending 10 minutes typing up notes and scheduling follow-ups, Copilot has already drafted the recap and scheduled the next meeting.
And maybe even updated the customer record based on the call's sentiment.
It just removes that administrative drag completely.
And speaking of removing drag, for the developers building all these new tools, Microsoft made a very technical but very significant push for standardization in those same quiet days.
Right. This gets us to the headline on unified abstractions and the model context protocol. This is really aimed at .NET and C# developers, and it's where the quiet, crucial infrastructure work really shines.
I'll admit, when I saw the dev blogs on this, my eyes kind of glazed over. For listeners who aren't deep in development, we're talking about things like MEAI, Microsoft extensions for AI and MCP. Why should an executive care about something called iChat client?
That is the perfect question. Because this technical plumbing is the key to enterprise security and scale.
Okay, break it down for us.
Think of it this way. If you're building an app that talks to a large language model, your AI agent, you usually have to write specific code for every single model provider. OpenAI, Anthropic, some custom model.
So it's like using a different electrical plug for every appliance in your house.
Exactly. It's a nightmare. MEAI provides a standardized plug, that iChat client interface. Now, developers write their app once using that standard.
It doesn't matter what's on the other end.
Doesn't matter if it's running on Azure AI Foundry, GitHub models, or a local server for privacy, the code stays the same.
Which means they can pick the best model for the job without having to rebuild everything. That makes the whole system incredibly flexible.
More than flexible. It enables that essential develop local, deploy cloud lifecycle. A developer can build with a secure in-house model and then deploy that same agent to the cloud for scale without changing a single line of business logic.
So it prevents all these new agents from becoming a huge, unmanageable security headache.
It's the technical standardization you need to make sure the army of little AIs can actually talk to each other without causing chaos.
So if developers are now using these standardized parts, they need to know what platform they're deploying to. Which brings us to a major consolidation announcement that dropped on January 4th.
Headline: Azure AI Foundry is officially rebranded to Microsoft Foundry.
What happened? The Azure AI Foundry platform officially changed its name. It's now just Microsoft Foundry.
And this is so much more than a marketing refresh. Removing the word Azure is a really calculated strategic move.
Awesome.
It positions the development hub as platform agnostic. It's moving beyond just being an Azure cloud service. By calling it Microsoft Foundry, they're signaling that this platform is the central hub for all enterprise AI. Development, deployment, governance.
Across the entire stack, Windows, Teams, 365, and Azure.
The whole thing. So for a CIO, this means your AI governance rules aren't just for what's in your data center. They apply to the desktop, to the collaboration tools, everything.
It becomes the control center for the whole AI factory.
That's it. A centralized framework for security, auditing, and managing agent lifecycles, no matter where they're running. These two moves, the standardized tools and the rebranded platform, show Microsoft systematically closing the loop on scale, security, and efficiency.
And that focus on closing the loop goes right into security.
Mm-hmm.
When you democratize GPT 5.2 and standardize deployment with the Foundry, you immediately need robust safety measures to match.
Which Microsoft tackled head-on. New features and some really crucial licensing changes.
Start with licensing. The headline is, Security Copilot is now included in Microsoft 365 E5 subscriptions.
Right.
This was announced January 4th, effective January 1st. All M365 E5 customers now automatically get a monthly allocation of something called Security Compute Units, or SCUs.
Okay, let's define that jargon, SCUs. A security compute unit is basically a measure of the compute resources you use for complex AI security tasks.
Like what?
Like processing massive logs to find threats, running special models to investigate an incident, automating your response.
So an SCU allocation is basically a budget for using AI to defend your network. But including this in E5, the highest tier subscription, is that really democratizing access, or is it just a push to get everyone onto the most expensive plan?
I mean, it's both, right? It's a huge incentive to upgrade to E5 for sure, but for the large organizations already there, it absolutely democratizes access. They don't have to go through a whole separate procurement process just to use AI for security. It's on by default. Microsoft is making enterprise security an AI-first discipline, which is vital when the phishing attacks are also becoming AI-powered.
And speaking of phishing, Teams got some serious new armor on the last day of the year.
Yep, 2 key updates on December 31st. First up, tenant-owned domain impersonation protection for Teams messaging.
Okay, so what happened here is a new security feature was rolled out to specifically detect external users trying to impersonate your own company's domain in a chat.
And why this matters is because phishing attacks have gotten so sophisticated. Bad actors spoof an internal-looking domain to gain your trust instantly. This new protection is a critical seatbelt. It uses real-time sender analysis to cut down that risk.
And for anyone in a regulated industry like finance or healthcare, another update hit that was all about compliance.
The headline here is Compliance Recording ISV support was added for Teams phone call queues.
So now, Teams Phone can support third-party compliance recording directly at the call queue level. This gets rid of the administrative headache of setting recording policies for every single user.
It just simplifies regulatory adherence so much. Every queued call is automatically recorded, doesn't matter who answers it. It's a quiet but really powerful change for governance.
Now, for all these advances in security and tooling, the end of the year also gave us a pretty sharp reminder of where AI systems still fall short.
Oh yeah, frontline user support. This story provides some necessary tension in the narrative.
It really does. The headline is basically about account corruption incidents and the critique of AI support.
So what we saw were multiple community posts between December 29th and January 2nd detailing these really complex, high-stakes support issues.
One person had a deeply corrupted Microsoft 365 subscription. Another was, rightfully paranoid about suspicious security texts from a Microsoft short link.
And in both cases, the AI-generated responses from the Q&A Assist LLM were just not helpful. Users criticized them for failing to grasp the complexity or for offering generic, sometimes dangerously bad advice.
We've all been there, trying to explain a really unique error to a chatbot and just hitting that LLM wall.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is the distinction the users made. They said the AI is fine for factual questions, how do I do X? But it completely breaks down when the issue requires an authoritative action.
Like actually fixing a corrupted account state.
Or understanding the implication of a weird security text. It's the difference between asking, how do I fix this? And needing someone with the keys to actually fix it. The AI doesn't have keys.
The critique was that these problems require human authority or self-reflection skills that the current AIs just haven't mastered yet. It really shows that gap between technical capability and flawless operational maturity.
Right.
And that failure point support is such a sharp contrast to the corporate validation Microsoft got in that same week. So to wrap up, let's look at the external momentum.
The final headline is the Microsoft Marketplace adding 137 new AI and cloud solutions.
So what happened? Announced on January 2nd, the Marketplace got this surge of 137 new offers. And crucially, a lot of them were AI-powered solutions, new agents for Copilot, and even services to help companies adopt Copilot.
We saw really specific niche offerings, things like Document IQ for secure content migration, or specialized AI agents in Copilot from partners like Innovasys.
What does that surge tell you?
It just reflects this incredibly strong partner ecosystem momentum. It confirms that third-party vendors are moving past generic AI tools. They're now building specialized, scalable solutions for real enterprise demand.
So this isn't just experimentation anymore.
Not at all. This is implementation. The partners are using the stability of the Foundry and the standardization of MEAI to tackle those heavy, regulated tasks that a generic AI just can't handle.
So stepping back from this quiet holiday week, the strategic moves seem crystal clear. It feels like a synchronized effort.
Totally synchronized.
You've got GPT 5.2 hitting the masses for free. You have Copilot embedding itself into critical voice workflows in Teams. And then you have the quiet but powerful infrastructure standardization with the Microsoft Foundry rebrand.
It all points to a company that is fully focused on moving beyond just AI capability into AI operationalization at the largest possible scale.
I agree completely. What we observed is this dual reality that I think is going to define 2026. On one side, you have this intense strategic consolidation, the Foundry rebrand, the E5 security inclusion, paving a secure path for agents.
And on the other side?
On the other side, you have users hitting real frustrating friction when the automated systems fail on problems that need human nuance and authority. The core challenge is making that entire ecosystem operate flawlessly.
It's the moment the technical platform has to truly catch up to the customer experience.
Exactly. Which brings us to our final thought for you to chew on.
If AI agents are really poised to become a new shadow IT without proper governance, running everywhere without any oversight, how should organizations measure the true success of the new Microsoft Foundry platform? Is it just about adoption numbers, how many agents you deploy?
Or is it about ensuring that your security and governance maturity can actually match the lightning speed of that deployment? Something to think about as the new year really gets going.